counting down the days, no more left to go. I love to sing a prayer for you, but I know you might be gone.
Hey guys, Brad and Agnes here from Black Pepper Abroad. So we have now started getting rid of our stuff. We live in a small little one-bedroom apartment, which I love. But we still managed to put quite a bit of furniture and odds and ends in here, so we are slowly selling everything off.
Yeah, the name of the game is Minimalism. After 4 years, we've collected quite a few things, as Agnes said, so it's a matter of going through everything one by one, picking things out that are important, that we're going to need in the caravan, and making that hard call and preparing to sell, give away, donate, whatever we need to do to minimize the clutter in our lives.
I think it's easy to say that we're going to live minimalistically. I think that for me it's going to be a bit of a challenge to let things go. I do tend to add a little bit of sentimental value to things that I don't really need to keep. So I'm going to try and do the whole take a picture of it so that the memory lasts and just get rid of it.
We've gone through this once before. We had to move everything into 4 suitcases when we came over this way. Granted, a lot of this stuff has been left with our family. Thank you very much, you guys. And every time we do go home, we help to clean up that clutter and get rid of as much stuff as we can.
But not box 22, right?
Not box 22. Can't touch box 22, Dad. Yeah, we've moved around quite a bit, and I think with this big move into a caravan, being on the road for 12 months, it's just good to cut ties with things we don't need, hold on to the stuff that's going to be very important for the caravan, and make those tough decisions and get rid of it.
What do you think you'll miss most about the stuff that we have, that we're getting rid of?
What do I think I'll miss the most? I'll miss my motorcycle. That was really fun riding around on my motorcycle. I wish I could have brought it along, but there's just no way in hell that we can fit that onto the back of the caravan. It's an old caravan, it's an old truck, the extra weight. That's another thing we're probably going to have to talk about, is just the balancing of the caravan as we load it up for our trip. It's going to be very important, so I'm going to miss the motorcycle quite a bit. What about yourself?
A full-size fridge.
Yeah, full-size fridge.
And a washing machine right in my living room.
Yeah.
That makes me sound a bit more...
On that wavelength, the dishwasher as well. That's not going to be too much of a treat, working with a dishwasher.
I'll always have a dishwasher when I'm with you.
I guess I'm stuck with that already. I guess it's just a matter of how we're going to go about categorizing things that we want to hold on to, really working through the things that are going to be a tough sell or tough to donate. Living Alternatives has really provided quite a few different ways of processing the downscaling of one's apartment. So we're not going down that route of storage. We want to avoid that. We can use the money that would go into storage more adequately when we're on the road. We're probably going to take a lot of pictures of the things that we want to hold on to keep the memory and do away with the clutter. We're going to probably leave a little bit, like 1 suitcase with friends, but we'll see once we get down that road. And then just separating that need of having that stuff around with the idea of what we can do with the extra space, that kind of zen feeling you get when you have all that freedom of not having that clutter holding you back, is going to be a great way of motivating me anyways to do away with all the crap, all the clutter.
And I agree with you, I 100% agree with you, but it's just, I think for me, once I physically am trying to get rid of stuff, I find that a bit of a challenge. I really, really do. And considering we're going to be living in 13 feet of space, there's only so much we can fit, so we have to be realistic about what we take with us.
Well, that's the thing. You find too, as you're looking at stuff, as you're going through things, that yes, oh, I want to hold on to this, and you have that brief connection again with an item that's been sitting in a closet that you haven't seen in like a year, and then you think to yourself, oh, I want to hold on to it, but then you kind of give that a second thought and say, look, it's been sitting in the closet for that long. Yes, it's now stirring up some memories, but we obviously haven't done anything with it for about a year. Just break that tie, move on, obviously you didn't miss it then, you won't miss it now. You'll just have to go through a bit of that feeling of separation. You'll get over it quite quickly. That's the way I kind of look at it and the way I've processed things in the past.
Well, and that's what we were actually just talking about this morning. We've got 2 boxes that are sitting in the closet. They're on an upper shelf. And I think they've got random cables and other stuff for other things. And then one is some odds and ends that we just didn't know where to put them. But they've been sitting in the closet untouched for a year. So at this point, I'm very keen on saying, regardless of what's sitting in them, it's going to get donated or sold or given away, because we haven't touched it in a year. So we clearly don't need it in our day-to-day life, and we won't need it on the road.
And the majority of the stuff that we do need, even if we were to move into an apartment down the track or into a house, you can buy all this stuff again secondhand. There's always people looking to hit the road, do something similar, or downsizing, upsizing, renovating, whatever the case might be. You can always get your hands on more things like coffee tables and TV units and refrigerators. So
Gumtree's great for that. And that's where we've been selling a lot of our stuff, and if we need it, that's probably where we'll buy our next batch of stuff.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of Kijiji back home in Canada.
Yeah.
It's been really handy.
But, there's a couple of techniques to help really downsize and get rid of the clutter, and we're going to take full advantage of that, and hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll have just the necessities that we'll need, the bare necessities, and get into the caravan and
I think
crack on.
I think mentally I'm ready. I'm prepared to live with less. We'll just see how I do in the next few weeks.
Shoes. You should see the hallway.
I just think over the next few weeks, as I'm getting rid of stuff, there might be some moments where I'm a little short with you.
Oh yeah.
Because when you try and tell me to get rid of something that I really like or have a really strong emotional tie with, I know I'm not the nicest of people. So I'll work on that.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll have my ups and downs going through this process as well. So we'll see how it goes.
So right now we've actually sold off a few of our things. We've sold off an end table and our TV unit. We're in the process of sorting stuff out, figuring out how much we're going to try and sell it for. So our place is a bit of a mess, but this gives you an idea of how much stuff we're trying to get rid of.
Little things that you don't really think of, like the big picture frames and the posters, the photography that Agnes has taken over the years. We've got to roll all that up, sell the frames. You can see little things like fans and knickknacks that you would keep on your coffee table. Just giving you an idea. I know I'm not going to go into all the details, but you can see even in a small apartment, there's still quite a bit of stuff to go through. Even in here, all those closets need to be addressed. And under the bed, we got storage totes, and books that we need to go through. And then we also have to deal with Sarge. He's going to be a little stressed out with all the commotion.
He gets a little anxious when we start moving stuff around, just because I think he's been through it a few times before. I think he's actually coming around to the caravan when we go for walks and we walk past it now. He sniffs it right up and just kind of sits in there all excited. I have to keep telling him, nope, we're just on a walk. We will move on past.